Hopefully you realize by now, in dance, in the arts, it is all about relationships and who you know. People want to work with people that they can trust, who seem authentic, who are reliable. If I go to your dance account, and I know it is a dance account because it says, JHsu dance, or I've seen dance diary or whatever it is, and I can see it's only a couple random dance posts, I know that this is not your main account. I know you have another personal one that you don't want me to see, so I start to think, what are they hiding? When you work with an artist, it is such a close bond. It is very personal, and so I want to get a better sense of the person I am working with, not just their dance technique. What is the biggest mistake I see dance majors making on Instagram today? Now, this is a hot take, but I believe it's having a separate dance account. Now, let me explain, and make sure you watch until the end of the video, because I'm going to tell you some simple ways to solve this issue. What's up? Welcome to Dance Tech with JHsu. I'm JHsu, and the purpose of this channel is to help dancers use technology better to tell their stories and achieve their goals. So whether that's using social media, AI, photo editing, music editing, all that stuff, we got it right here. So having a separate dance Instagram account. Why do I think this is such a big mistake for dance majors? Listen, I get it. I went through this too. You probably took a dance business class where you had to make a website, some kind of portfolio, get a headshot, work on your artist statement, all that stuff. And so that your Instagram account kind of becomes an extension of that, right? You want a platform or a page where someone can go and clearly see your work as an artist, so that way they can see if they want to book you, hire you for a project as a teacher, whatever it is. So that makes sense, right? So why do I think it's such a big mistake? Now, before I jump into this, let me clarify. I'm talking specifically about dance majors or solo artists who are trying to get booked for certain gigs or teaching jobs, things like that. I'm not talking about dance studios, dance companies, collectives, certain projects, things like that. And also, at the end of the day, it's your social media. So if you want to keep them separate after watching this video, you do you. And actually let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong after you hear my side of this. And then just remember that social media is just one part of getting that job, right? This is assuming that you are good at what you do, whether that's performing or teaching, that you are professional, that you are easy to work with, right? Like, there are all these other factors that go into getting a job. So are you gonna get booked just because, all of a sudden you got rid of your dance account and now you just have one account? Heck no. Yeah, but this will help you in that process. That's the goal, all right? This actually came about when I was flying back from a week-long teaching residency from Belhaven College. I was there for a week teaching hip-hop classes, doing some Q&A panels, doing photo shoots with the students, and all the questions I got were around marketing, social media, how do I get booked? How do I get jobs? How do I network? And so I was thinking about that literally the whole plane ride, just, things that we had talked about. And at the same time, I've been in the middle of working on going more into real estate media. And so there's been a lot of that marketing language and how to do things through that. And I remember literally, I was looking out the window and I thought about this. I was like, oh, wow, this is such a mistake. And if you had asked me just a week ago, or while I was at that residency, if they asked me, should I have a separate dance account? I would have said yes. Like, it makes total sense. But let me go through why I think it's a mistake. So number one, it at least doubles the amount of work you need to do, right? If you're trying to manage your personal account and your dance account, assuming you're relatively consistent on both, you're doubling the amount of work you need to do with creating content, writing the copy or like the caption, right? Figuring out when to post, looking at, analytics and metrics, potentially, all that stuff. And so that can often lead to inconsistent content and bad personal branding, right? Tell me in the comments if this is you. You made your separate dance account, and maybe you did a photo shoot through your college, and so you used a bunch of those pictures so they all kind of look the same, right, as far as the aesthetic. And then maybe you have a picture or a couple of videos from a show you did at college. Maybe you have, I don't know, a couple late night studio freestyle sessions also in there, and that's it. You did a couple, you haven't really touched it. Aesthetically, you look at it and it's like a lot of the same thing in a row, and then a couple of the small things, so the eye doesn't know where to go, right? And then you just haven't touched it because you don't know what else to do. You don't have any more content, and you're like, oh shoot, I don't know how to use this now, right? Is that you? Let me know in the comments. That's one thing, right? Doubling the work, inconsistent branding. The most important one though, and listen, this is really critical. Hopefully you realize by now, in dance, in the arts, it is all about relationships and who you know, right? People want to work with people that they can trust, who seem authentic, who are reliable. If I go to your dance account, and I know it is a dance account because it says, JHsu dance, or I've seen dance diary or whatever it is, right? And I can see it's only a couple random dance posts. Subconsciously, I know that this is not your main account. I know you have another personal one that you don't want me to see. So I start to think, oh, well, what are they hiding, right? When you work with an artist, it is such a close bond. It is very personal. And so I want to get a better sense of the person I am working with, not just their dance technique. Obviously, that's important. Obviously, you need the skills. But if I could choose between this person and this person, two different accounts, one is just dance content, the other is dance content plus, I see them at work with friends, some interests, whatever it is, and let's say their dance content is at the same level, who do you think I'm gonna go with? If I do my due diligence, I'll probably reach out to both people and get to know you. But social media is such a fast-paced thing. You want to make it as easy as possible for people to look at it and be, oh, yes, I want to reach out to them right away. Another thing that having inconsistent branding or content can do is it can look like you're very inexperienced or very new. It means you don't have a lot of content to draw from or a lot of experience shows to draw from, right? To post, things like that. And so that's another reason why you want to fill it with other stuff that you already have on your personal account. That is honestly the biggest reason why I would say don't make a separate dance account. If I'm saying don't, how can I get around this issue? So there are a couple things. A, just combine your accounts. Make your main account, no separate dance account. Now, you might be saying, oh, but there are some things I don't want people to see on there for whatever reason. Remember, you don't have to post everything on social media. You might need to take a step back and think about, why am I using social media? Is it to get work? Is it to share my art? Is it to connect and share with friends? Is it honestly just an ego thing and I just, get that dopamine hit when I see likes? None of them are necessarily bad, but some of them might have conflicting goals, or the things you have to do for each one might be a little conflicting. So just think about that for a moment. Do I have to actually post every single thing? No. But even if you want to, Instagram has close friends. You can choose the audience that you want to share your content with. So for example, say, I had a death in the family and I do want to let my friends know, but that's not something that I need, a potential choreographer to see and look at. I can share it and just choose close friends and make sure I just put all of my friends or personal friends in that list. Now, if you don't know how to do this, let me know and maybe I'll make a video on it in the future. So that's one thing, right? Close friends is a great way to still post everything that you would want, but not have it show up in everyone's feed. Or personally, I would say just show some restraint and maybe not show everything. If you do still want separate accounts, which again, I understand, I would recommend making your personal account more like a Finsta, a fake Instagram. Yeah. Make it a random username, make it so it's hard to search. So if you type in your name, it's not going to pop up, and make it private. And that way you can tell your friends, hey, this is my personal account, go follow me there, and that's all my stuff. And then make your dance account your main one, where it's really just your name. It's easy to find. You're still going to put regular relationship, daily life things on there, so it's not just dance content. If that confuses you, make sure you subscribe, because I'm actually gonna post a video about that soon, very soon. So make sure you subscribe. And then that way you have your personal life separate from your dance artistry stuff, but it doesn't seem that way, right? People will look at that main account and think, okay, I understand who this person is, I can see who they are as a dancer, but also I get a sense of their personality, their values, what they like to do, other talents maybe. Think of it, it's like your website slash resume kind of all into one, but we want to make sure it comes across as authentic and real. Those are two ways that you could go about with this. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. And again, I'm not saying you can't have a separate dance account and personal account. I've seen very few people who do it well, just from the, many people who I know. I think all of the very successful artists I know all have just one account, and they share personal things and professional things on there, and it works out really well. So I think if you do have two accounts, eventually that dance account's gonna go to the wayside anyways. If you are just making a kind of dance diary to share your dance, I think that's great. Go for it. I think you just need to be clear then what is the goal of that? Is that something that people could potentially find? Do you want to link it back to your main account? That kind of thing. So again, not saying there aren't ways you could make it work. I just think it's more efficient, more effective to have one account, specifically as a solo freelance artist. Again, not talking about companies or studios. That's a whole different video. There are so many other issues I think companies and studios have when it comes to running their social media. That's a totally different video. And remember, you don't have to share everything on social media. I think that can turn into a very unhealthy thing, where I remember back in the day, I thought, I have to post every single day. I have to share content about every single thing I'm doing. And sometimes it's maybe not the most appropriate thing to share. Remember, once it's online, it's out there. People can screenshot it, people can save it. That's how you get those crazy gaffes from companies who thought it would be a good idea to post that video or that meme or whatever, right? So you want to be selective in what you share to make sure it shows you in the best light possible. Also, I have a very handy dandy checklist for you to make sure your social media, specifically your Instagram profile, is optimized, to make sure it looks professional, make sure it looks authentic, so that way the next time someone looks at it, looking to hire someone, looking for a new teacher, it will hopefully encourage them to reach out to you to learn more about you, and hopefully it'll lead to more gigs. So if you are interested in that, there's a link in the description. Also, there is a QR code that I think I'm gonna put up somewhere here. You can just take a picture of it. But yeah, this is potentially a hot topic. I don't know, really. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? If you teach in higher ed, do you think what I said makes sense? Or do you think you should still tell your students to have a separate account? I'm really curious. Or if you are in marketing, if you have that marketing experience, if you have hired dancers using social media in the past, am I just totally off base? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know next time I post a video, and I will see you all next time. Bye.